The one man who helped build and oversee Newmont Mining's most profitable mine is on the cusp of delivering a new cash-flowing mining company to North America. With a 70 cent a share price target from Euro Pacific Capital, this 25 cent a share company is 35% owned by one of the most successful businessmen in America.
Learn more at crushthestreet.com/wealth.
Hello everyone and welcome into Future Money Trends. Today I'm joined with a very special guest. We're going to talk politics, the economy, and investment ideas. And obviously these things all go hand in hand. And my guest today has worked in politics, has worked building a company, multiple companies, and he's an entrepreneur. His name is Cortney Liddiard of Ball Ventures, which is a billion-dollar enterprise. And this company focuses on real estate investment, development, and private equity. And they're headquartered in Idaho Falls, Idaho. So first of all, Cortney, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Kenneth, for taking the time to chit-chat with us, and we appreciate your attention to those issues facing the everyday investor in our country.
Well, hey, I want to talk today about politics, the economy, and your investment ideas. Cortney, you got quite a resume, and you've had the opportunity to work with Senator Orrin Hatch. So let's talk some politics. Do you have a Republican's insider opinion on the current race for president, and do you think Trump can take this all away?
Boy, that's a very loaded question, Kenneth. I think, by nature, we're conservative Republicans. Very much enjoyed the time in Washington, D.C. with Senator Hatch. Was there long enough to know what I'm good at, what I'm not good at, what I want to do in life, and certainly politics do not suit me well and is not my forte. That being said, the country and the state that we live in are a great place to live and conduct business, and we have a vested interest in who takes that leadership role in the future. While we appreciate a lot of the directness and views that Mr. Trump stands for, we also want to ensure that somebody from that conservative Republican side definitely gets elected. And so I think the question of Trump is electability. From that standpoint, again, we like the message. We like the frankness because we're very much straightforward, frank people. Not sure as to his electability. I think the jury's still out on who that front runner will be. Like a lot of what Cruz and Rubio have had to say, Bush is always somewhere in the background. But I think it's too soon in the race to really pick a horse. But certainly our money's on the Republican Party.
Well, going back to the Romney campaign, what happened there? Do you think Hillary, first of all, will have that type of momentum that Obama had? He seemed to really just start a fire with the liberal voters. Do you think Hillary has that sort of momentum with her? And what happened to Romney? And he actually didn't even get as many votes as McCain.
So I think if you go back to those three remaining debates, I think that while Romney was the most qualified, I believe in certainly the last 8 years, some of that business style doesn't sell well necessarily in the political arena. I actually think that it comes down to, I believe it was that second debate when his facts were straight. There was some bit of a miscommunication there on the stage, and I think there was actually a bias by the host. I think that his choice of being aggressive, not aggressive, and how that was handled and then played out was definitely a huge negative. And I think the recording and the misinterpretation and the way that it was, his famous comment was portrayed definitely hurt him. I had the opportunity of spending the better part of a day, and believe me, asked that question. I think that the country has voter remorse, should have voter remorse. I think Mitt Romney would have been a great president, and I think a few key events cost him the election. And I think Hillary has some of that momentum, but I'm not always convinced that the country really is looking for that business leader looking to be very direct and lead the country more in a business-like manner, capital Republican manner, than more of a socialist manner in which it's been run the last 8 years.
So transitioning over to socialist programs, you run $1 billion enterprise, and I want to ask you, what has the effect been of the Obama administration on your company, and specifically Obamacare?
So I think, a broad statement is Obamacare has been disastrous to the price of health care. The key of any good business is its people. We can have a great product, we can have a great investment strategy, but without great people, we don't have a business. Healthcare is key in retention, in recruitment of great employees, and fundamentally, Obamacare has increased those costs. And also, it's made it harder at the business level with cost, compliance, when you have over 50 employees, to provide the level of health care that executives deserve at a reasonable price.
In transitioning again, I mean, talking about politics and the debt, why isn't the debt a bigger issue in both the Democrat and Republican race? And you really would think this would be the biggest issue of our time, not so much of the other things that we're talking about.
Yeah, I think it's one of the three big factors. I think politically, nobody likes to wake up in the morning and face the daunting task of the day. It's difficult, it's not fun, it's not popular, and I think that some of the last 8 years we want to discuss what's fluffy, what can be done, the easy things, what can be done for the people, the things that politicians say to get elected. The debt, in my opinion, is the largest issue that is not addressed, but because it's unpopular, it's difficult, it doesn't sell well.
Well, let's segue over to your company and what your company does. You guys are involved with real estate. So what is your favorite type of real estate right now?
So we have a focused investment strategy on commercial real estate, specifically major anchored shopping centers, grocery anchor being a preference, but national credit anchored shopping centers, and then also a focus on hospitality, Hilton, Marriott products. We like the long-term nature of real estate, the stability that it can provide. We're long-term investors looking for modest cash flow returns.
Okay. And then as far as investment ideas, do you have any specific investment ideas related to the mining sector that you're looking at the moment? Our focus right now is seeing high minerals through feasibility and obtaining financing. We look at that investment. Fundamentally, it's something that's based in everyday America, everyday products. It's an industrial mineral. It's got a solid, tangible investment strategy. The products are and the uses of the mineral are long-term. It lends itself to a company like ours that is long-term oriented. It's great. It's a gem, no pun intended, in the gem state. Idaho has been it's our corporate headquarters. It's been very good to Alan and his family and to Ball Ventures. And what a win-win to see a company like that succeed in our home state, in a state that needs jobs, that needs economic development. And I think lastly, our investment strategy has always been win-win. We're not, we like to see across the board our partners win, our tenants win, our guests win. In this instance, we like to see management win. We like to see shareholders win. We've certainly taken a big risk from the beginning, and certainly want to see ourselves win. But across the board, and we want to see Idaho win. And I Minerals, the ticker symbol I see here is IMA on the venture exchange. What are your own expectations for the company over the next 3 to 5 years?
We expect to see through feasibility, to see successful financing of the capex spend of the construction of the product of the plant, to see it fully built out, put into production, selling product, shipping product, and see long-term responsible finance put on the property, to see this company into the future through this project and potentially other projects that it may acquire.
As far as, and you can answer this if you'd like, but I'm just curious with the way the precious metals have been acting, obviously a lot of the base metals. You guys deal with some interesting minerals over at iMinerals. How has the collapse in price of these other metals affected those prices and the ability for the company to thrive in this environment? How do you see that playing out?
Again, we look at the fundamentals of the investment, the long-term viability of an industrial minerals mine. Our returns are made off of future cash flows of long-term investments. We don't look at this as a stock play. The price of gold, I think the decline in the price of gold and some of the precious metals actually highlights the soundness in the investment of a company like iMinerals. It doesn't experience the sexy of gold, nor the downward trends that happen. It sees share price increase and value creation through long-term cash flow.
And so, Cortney, if people do want to partner with this company, how would they go about doing so?
From our side, our investment has been to see this thing through the initial phases through feasibility, and now the responsibility exists on management and seeing the best way to attract the right kind of partners, investors, and financing.
Cortney, I know you're also a tax expert, and I have a selfish question, and maybe it's because I'm pessimistic and I think that the government is really going to screw us over the coming years. But when it comes to saving money and putting money in an IRA, my thought is, should I just pay the taxes now, or should I plan on the government actually raising taxes in the future? Am I better off deferring my taxes to an unknown rate in the future, or actually paying it now?
Boy, if either one of us could answer that question, we would be rich men. I think as with anything else in life, to bet the farm on any one thing is a mistake. I think a balanced approach. I think long term, the odds of taxes going up are good. In the near term, they've got bigger fish to fry. You spoke about debt earlier. I think that it's a delicate balance of keeping the economy going forward. I think anything that has a tax-saving aspect long term, if that's your investment horizon, you're always going to be better off to save, accumulate your investment tax-free, and take advantage of the distribution of that wealth at the time when which you're ready, and take advantage of whatever laws exist at that time. I'm a big believer in deferral.
Okay. And as far as the debt goes, do you think the Treasury market is set for a crisis within the next 5, 10 to 15 years because the debts are just so high in the U.S. and there's just a ton of entitlements out there?
I guess, first of all, it's far above my pay grade to opine and comment, with any level of expertise. However, it is a large issue that the country has to face. We've got changing demographics, specifically related to Social Security and retirement. It does need to be handled, addressed. I have great faith in the country in our ability to adapt and be flexible and solve the issue, but notwithstanding the fact that, yes, there is going to be some pain. I'm more worried about the external factors globally than within the boundary of the United States of America.
Cortney, is there anything else that you'd like to leave us with in terms of encouragement, or just sharing with us your ideas on how to thrive in this changing economy, this changing environment, and ways to profit?
You know, I think that fundamental, people looking at how they fundamentally conduct business, how are they straightforward? Are they forthright in their communication and their objectives? I think that's been fundamental to our success. We're focused on what we're after. We're long-term investors. Stay the course. We're not after that quick flip that perhaps what got us into the last recession. Putting lipstick on pigs and sending them down the road. I think the key to long-term wealth is just basic blocking and tackling and hitting singles and doubles.
Everyone, I want to thank you guys for joining me today for this call. It's an important discussion. We've got a lot of changes going on with the politics. The economy is just extremely volatile right now, and making the right investment decisions is extremely important with going forward. So we'll definitely check out iMinerals, and everyone, thanks so much for taking the time with me today.
Thank you, Kenneth, for taking the time to chat with us, and we appreciate your attention to those issues facing the everyday investor in our country. Look forward to reading your comments.